Here it is, the beginning of 2018. The Albuquerque Community Foundation has just completed its best year in history. Let's pause for a minute to look back at the last 3 years to identify some of the milestones leading to today's success. In 2015, we hosted a series of 8 community conversations with our stakeholders to assess the Foundation's work. Once the final report was delivered, Foundation staff and trustees went to work. Together, we examined and refreshed all segments of our work. How could we achieve better results? How could we address systemic change? Could we encourage programming aimed at lifting people from poverty through education, skill development, job training, mentorship, technology? One afternoon, in a grant committee meeting, the group was trying to articulate just what it was we were wanting to accomplish through our grants, when suddenly the words practically fell out of the air. Access to economic opportunities. We didn't know it at the time, but this would become a game changer. Access to economic opportunities would define the Foundation's next 3 years. First, we added an additional funding field of interest, economic and workforce development. Meanwhile, the Cinco Amigos had already jumped into economic development funding. A $160,000 grant would furnish the epicenter at Innovate ABQ, which would open to a capacity crowd of 350 people. Living Cities, a prestigious national foundation, comes to Albuquerque. As a participant on the leadership table from day one, we've become key partners in this ongoing initiative. 2016 would bring the Social Giving Club. The inaugural grant went to Cultivating Coders, a boot camp for Native American students. This $25,000 grant would leverage hundreds of thousands of dollars in additional grants, both locally and nationally. The Foundation would lead a delegation to Cleveland to learn about the Democracy Collaborative's local procurement initiatives. This would result in a cross-sector Albuquerque Anchor Institution partnership, Healthy Neighborhoods Albuquerque, a community wealth-building collaborative. We would make our first impact investments, starting with a venture capital investment in the Verge Fund and Albuquerque's new business accelerator, ABQID. In partnership with the city and My Brother's Keeper Foundation, we created and managed Prospero, a $100,000 grant program to provide employment opportunities for young men of color. We began to host Impact and Coffee each week, opening our doors to new ideas and new players arriving on the scene. We would lead efforts to develop the New Mexico Funders Collaborative, including business and foundation funders. Together, we would award our first ever collaborative grant. So that brings us to today. Over the last 3 years, we've made conscious shifts in our course. We've awarded $1.3 million in economic and workforce development related grants. We've made $1.25 million in impact investments. We're important partners in the growing entrepreneurial ecosystem. We continue to search for new ideas and new approaches to solving our community's challenges through systemic change. We now know what access to economic opportunities looks like. And remember, we did all of this in addition to our work in our other 5 fields of interest and discovered the theme, access to economic opportunities looks great on all of them. Thank you, trustees, for helping us to find the common ground that has and continues to braid ACF together with so many others in our community. We are better together.